Okay, here we go.
Yeah, we had a little blooper. So, but back to what we was all talking to about Keenu Hale.
Yeah, they was talking about Timmy. I'm sorry for dropping the camera.
That's fine. That's fine.
Timmy and the Stitch Crows. About the prequel and the animation scene. If you started the whole network, you would start on the prequel.
Yes. Yes, with the prequel. Back then, when I made the first story, I really didn't, have much on the brain when I made it. The characters were mostly new, so I was still in the progress when making their world. So, but after years passed, I have greater better knowledge of the characters and why I want to tell them. So I guess I'll start with the prequel because I feel like it's best to start, where the character is,
Speaking on prequels, when I see Timmy and the Stitch Crows, for some odd reason, I get Tom and Jerry. So have you ever thought of doing a Tom and Jerry style cartoon, like with no words, just expression?
I always had liking towards the classics such as Popeye the Sailor, and Mickey Mouse and Looney Tunes. So yeah, I pretty much like to do something like that. Yeah.
And he didn't cut him off. He gave me my.
Yeah. So now with Timmy and the Stitch Crows, is that your favorite series so far out of all your creations? What's like your favorite series? Do you have like a series that's really dear to you, or are they all loved equally?
I guess like with like a mother who loves her children, like I guess they're all my favorites. I can't really choose since there's so many.
I love that answer. I feel like that about my poems, but some poems, I'd be like, But I guess when it comes to artistry and you, how long you've been doing this, is like they grow on you through time. Like, do you ever go back and look at your old work and be like, wow, you that was a point in your life, and like you're older now, and it's like it's the nostalgia is like really rich there.
Yeah, I occasionally look back on my work just for inspiration or stuff that I want to improve on. Yeah, and so mostly when I look back, I always try to see the best and try to make the best of what I did back then excel more. So I can do more good art pieces in the future about them.
Have you ever thought of doing a crossover on your pieces, like from the past, or like how in TV shows they have like some cartoons crash in on other cartoons? You know what I'm saying? It's like breaking the fourth wall type situation. Have you ever thought of doing?
Yeah, I always had that in mind. Mostly, I usually, did some crossovers too. I don't know where I put those books, but yeah, when the time comes, I'll do it.
I cannot wait. The crossovers sound amazing. I would love to see that. We have the audience have questions here. Hello, audience. We love you.
I'd like to know
Yes.
what happened with the.
Lady in the blue. Yes.
Yes, I'd like to know what happened with the what is their name? We just were talking about them.
Wild
Like, the
Pets?
Shell.
The Shelpranos.
The Shelpranos. Like, what's happening with the Shelpranos, and are. Yes, I just would like to know what happened with the Shelpranos, and are you going to be doing that as a series as well?
Well, when I first made the shell print, it's always been kind of like a joke on, Mafia Turtles. But, because of the shell panels, I used to watch that 3 times. And now that it, really evokes a reaction, a lot of people who want it. Mostly, it takes. It used to be on one of my older stories, The Wild Pets. I haven't worked on that in a while, but I guess since they're monster turtles, I think I'm switching them to like a different storyline. Animated amateurs is one of my storylines currently now. So it's kind of like a story place of cartoons. You saw that with one of the characters with the class of Miss Nutterman and Cookie Crumble, one of my characters. So they take place there.
Okay.
So it's experimental, and I'm still doing a lot of stories with that. So in the future, I'll try to do a lot more art pieces to explain the story.
Okay.
That sounds the shell pranos remind me of like Madagascar when they had like the penguins, and the penguins, they was doing a whole thing, and everybody was like, oh my god, the penguins are up to something, and they loved them so much because they was like the tight knit group, They was very explosive, very robust, and something like that. The shell pranos remind me of them, and even back in the day, like when Dexter, they had like Monkey, and Monkey ended up having his own little show. Monkey had his own little lifestyle. Yeah, sounds good. I can't wait.
Do you think about having one of your characters branch off and have their own show?
Yes, many times, because I always try to make each of my characters, their own character, not just support of another character. Sure, they're supporting characters, but I also want to make them, their own. Like, if they have a spin-off, they'll be a much good character.
So they can have their own origin.
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I'm looking forward to. Yes.
Yes, I have a question. There's many facets of art, animation. Have you ever thought about, because I think these 2 gamers next to you, did you ever think about like creating your own game? Because that would be, I think all 3 of y'all could, because I know, y'all know about gaming. Keenu's not a gamer, but he has the animation part.
I never played a lot of games before, but yeah, I do watch a lot of people playing games, especially Khalil and Khayri. Khalil and Khayri.
It's alright. It's fine.
And I always, like the, gaming concepts. Like I always, think, like what if my characters are fighting or, going on this game adventure. So yes, I do want, possibly, possibly Timmy and the sister probably might have a game maybe.
Light bulb.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful idea, especially with illustration. You can that'll take your characters on a whole nother level. That will create even more story for your characters on and off game and on and off screen. It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Now, moving along, you was in, well, actually a rewind a little bit. We're gonna take a step back here and look at the timeline. In 7th grade, you was on television. Your artwork was on some type of television. Could you talk a little bit about that?
I can barely remember the name, but I remember it was in Virginia.
You want your mother, the audience? I'm his mother. What happened in 7th grade? We went down there for 8 months, and he went to Short Pump. He went to Short Pump Middle, and the first day he was in school, the principal walked up to me and said, "Oh my gosh, I'm into art, and I would like to give him a 15-minute segment on a local channel. And I said, who? Who's on ones? Not my son. 'Cause my son only draw other cartoon characters, and this is the thing that we dealt with him being in East Windsor School District. They wanted to do a lot of things with him, and by Keenu drawing, we couldn't have days at the library. We couldn't do things because it was other characters of like SpongeBob and all the movies that came out. He would create illustrations of these cartoons. Illustrations, and I threw all of those away because it was didn't be too many notebooks. Yes. So after this man put him on the 15-minute segment, I never threw away anything. I don't even throw away a piece of paper that he writes on a drawing. I'm like, what you doing? Put that in the garbage. That might be worth something one day. Cause you don't know who you are. Mr. Keenu Hale.
So Keenu, you was on your artwork was on television. Your brand was on television at one point. Do you feel like you can actually go back there? Is that somewhere you would like to revisit? You know, since you built up so much, in your career as an artist. Do you feel like you could go back? Do you want to go back and try to start your own network? Since you know that's a possibility, since you was already once on television.
Yeah. I always look back, you know, for more inspiration, and especially for my goals. So yes.
Do you ever think about having your own movie?
Ever since I was a little kid, yes. You know, it's as simple as that.
I like it.
Okay. I like. We have another question from the audience.
Your mother would like to add in, because I have visions too. I wish he could do his documentary of his life in animation. Ding, ding, ding. I always ask him. But maybe that could be the first thing. I know it's probably nothing that he wants to do. But even if I'm not here, or I wish he would do it. It's a wonderful story. I have half of it written already.
Beautiful, magnificent idea, in my opinion. Now, dealing with haters, Keenu. Dealing with haters. We're gonna talk about this. I wanna know what's up. I wanna know what's up with these haters out here trying to talk about Keenu Hale and his art, saying that they're not satisfied with the artwork, Keenu. And you know, I wanna know, how do you take, you know, these haters and fuel your pen? How do these haters fuel your pen?
Well, I mostly train myself every day to deal with haters, because mostly I see them everywhere. I see them at school. I see them, you know, on the news. I see them, you know, in videos, and you know, with their little chat lines.
Yeah.
And like, I always try to, you know, tell myself, like, they're just people who don't know you, and like, you know, you just have to deal with that. There's always going to be people who don't know you, don't care to know you. So just deal with that, because that's life. I always try to remind myself that every day.
Yeah.
Especially, I don't always want to bring up your past, Keenu, but you know, coming from the struggle that you come through, and so much you accomplished through all of that. Through all of that you've been through, the struggle and everything. Everybody has their struggles, you know what I mean? And coming through all of these struggles and overcoming that and overwhelming the art industry. How does that make you feel?
Made me feel really good. Like I when I was, you know, younger and probably in high school, I didn't think I would make it this far. But I guess I had to, you know, I guess I had to thank most of you, Amina, and my mom, and most of the family, you know, for always sticking by me. So I guess it's like, it's more than like who you are. Is the people in your life. You know.
We have a lot of more places to go because
Beautiful.
we still striving. We
Beautiful.
not there yet.
Beautiful. Yes, yes. We're not there yet, but we're getting there, Keenu. And you know, you can't really give up. To those, also, I want to double back a little bit. To those people that, you know, looking up to you in your art, because I believe there are a lot of people looking up to you in your art. The people that you've touched over the years, from you going to 7th grade and going on TV and having peers growing up in school, people knowing that, yo, that guy is an artist, you know, and you in high school and you doing murals, you know, all these things you've accomplished, like going along, like what do you have to say to the people looking up to you in your art? What do you have to say to them?
Thanks for finding what, the things I do special and the work I make. Mostly when I look at my work, I just see, this stuff I do for fun. But, it appears to most people who, know my work well, they see a lot. They see like, something, beautiful, hopeful, funny, and like, I'm like, wow. And like, I just need to thank them all so much. And like, I just, want them to find their way.
Yes. Yes. Everybody needs to find
You know.
Do you think you could do a black and white anime?
You mean with people who are, skin color or black and white or
Like, remember, like, old cartoon, like they had like the black and white anime.
We have an audience, right? Audience mother here. He has a nice. I wanted him to start out with one of his cartoon. Keenu, is the ones that you went back in the 30s. That would be nice in the black and white. He has a storyline. What is it called, Keenu?
the orphanage.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. It's from the 1930s, and when he does things, he study it. He studies it. So he did a lot of studying on orphanage in that time frame, and so sometimes it's a little bit more deeper than what you know. Yeah.
Pretty good. I'm looking forward to see that. I was just thinking about it. Now, when you're brainstorming on a new piece, how does that work? How does that work when you're brainstorming on a new piece? So much, you created so much. You have like 1,000 and plus characters. You have 1,000 plus characters you already created, right?
Yeah.
1,000 plus. That is. Do you know anybody that has more characters than you?
Probably Disney, but mostly they're just parts of other people's ideas.
So all of yours is homemade and original characters, 1,000 plus.
Yes.
You heard it here first, folks. This guy has 1,000 plus characters original. That's a beautiful thing. So when you're creating a new piece, a new story, how does that go?
Well, basically, I just trying to, it's like an empty canvas. When I look at it, I just try what to draw next. But mostly, when I come up with ideas, I just think about what I like. And it wasn't really easy back then. And with my first idea, like, I just thought of dinosaurs and trains and outer space adventures, and eventually I came up with like this story called Dino Digi. I didn't work on it for a long time. I think it's about like dinosaurs from another dimension who travel and trains to other dimensions.
I like
Yeah.
I like how you put all the pieces together there. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. That's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. That shows the creativity and the confidence in your work. That shows the confidence in your work, and you're true to yourself when it comes to you and your art. You don't. You're very original. Your artwork is very original. Do you have anything in the workings as of right now, as far as the storyline?
You mean my current storylines? Yeah, so mostly I do some right now. Mostly this one's kind of like a new, kind of like a satire of Greek culture. It's kind of like a story about the, mostly it's a story, kind of like a story about the daughter of Medusa, who's trying to, find friends because like her family's been slaughtered by Athena, the goddess of war. So she's trying to find some friends so she can finally have a friend. The story isn't really progressing because I just came up with it.
Before you do your drawings, do you have any concepts or anything in that nature as far as like, I know I want to write about this, I want to draw about this?
Yeah, I gather my concept from probably watching cartoons just like everyone else. And I try to find the type of style that sticks to the character, so it can be different from the last.
1,000 characters. That is really hard to keep up with. Oh my goodness, I can't even keep up with combos and video games. You got 1,000 characters. Wow, that's something, Keenu. That's really something. Now, this new, piggybacking off of Khalil and the concept situation. When you're starting your new pieces and you have these concepts, do you keep them or do you scrap all of them? Like, do they like make the final cut? Even if they don't make the final cut, do you keep them or do you just let it go?
Well, I keep them because they're, to me, like there's no such thing as a wasted work. With the characters you make. They can always be changed, they can always evolve into something better. So I hold on to my, stories I make. I sometimes abandon them, but I don't, abandon them for good. I always come back to them when I have a better idea.
I like it. Real, this is some good stuff here. There's some good stuff here. We have another question from the audience.
Hello, it's his mother again.
Hello.
It's a lot of things that you're talking about that's bringing a few things in my head to talk about. Keenu, and I'm gonna put him on blast a little bit, and I've been holding this for like about a good 7-8 months, and maybe he has been doing this for a while. Keenu listens to, as being a cartoonist, he say watching his cartoons, it keeps you what, Keenu? Keeps you, I guess it keeps you young at heart pretty much, right? And it keeps you, So sometimes he could be listening to his favorite cartoons, but he's listening to it in Chinese. And he is studying Chinese on his own now. I'm gonna take you back a little bit. So he's on higher levels, and I think he's gonna probably be over in China somewhere one day getting his master's, you understand? So, Keenu, I didn't have any TV. We were living in Ewing, and it had to be his 11th grade because I had to go right back to West Windsor to keep him in that area. I think it was 11th grade. I didn't have a TV. I didn't have cable. We didn't have no TV. He said, "Ma, I need some canvases," and I went and bought 2 like awkward canvases. He already had it in his mind because we used to go to the art outlet Utrecht in Jamesburg, and he picked out 2 odd shapes, tall, about almost tall as us. I purchased them for him, and he came downstairs and put these 2, because he don't say, "Mom, look." He just like place it somewhere and wait for me to ooh and ah and go crazy. So I saw it and I said, "What is that?" Like it was half monkey, half human. And then it had some Chinese down at the bottom. I said, Keenu, come here. I said, what is this? I said, what is this? He said, that's monkey. I said, that's Chinese. I said, how you know how to write in Chinese? And he said, Ma, I saw it. I said, you saw it and you remembered it? He said, yes. So, the depths of him is much deeper, and I just don't know how long it's been since he's been studying Chinese.
Wow, sound like you got some pretty serious photographic memory there. Like, that's good because Chinese is all in symbols. Chinese, Japanese, the like symbols instead of letters. They call them symbols, which I know you know now since you're studying on your own. And how is that going? Do you have any Chinese or Japanese inspirations?
When I go out in New York, I sometimes after school I sometimes go to some bookstores that sell Japanese comic books, and I read them. I sometimes cheat. I sometimes grab the English version of the Japanese book that I get just because so I can tell what's it mean, and I go on other sites and watch anime. I've been doing that for years, but I never watched the Japanese version. So I watched the Japanese version, and then I talked to some of my classmates too who know Japanese, who've been to Japan, who grew up in Japan, and they tell me some words. It's still slow. I can only know a few at a time, but it's growing every year on my knowledge about it.
Beautiful.
Well, I think that's the best way that he's learning how to be, because when you don't know and you start seeing in certain things, because just like Arabic, when the best way is just to get a book and have all of it in it, and if you have the English part in your ear, like reading it along with the English, and then you'll pick it up. Yes.
Konnichiwa. I know a little Chinese myself. But yeah, so what do you watch any Japanese or any Chinese anime, Naruto?
Yeah, and currently One Punch Man. Some on Adult Swim I find, and I go online and watch the ones in Japanese.
What I'm currently watching now is One Piece. One Piece, they artworkers. I think you will really enjoy the art of One Piece because they have some really unique characters, really off the wall illustrations, how they create their characters, the design of how they create characters. I think you will really enjoy that.
I like it. They have a good style there, and I always like all the characters. There's like a style to every character there. Not one is different, and that's what keeps me captivated.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, do you plan on traveling to Japan or China? And let them get a taste of what the unique brand is all about.
I can only hope. First I gotta get money, because it's not cheap.
That comes with it.
Yeah, but I hope to grasp the culture because a lot of people I talk to, been there and they show me pictures and makes me want to go there even more.
Sounds good. Sounds like we'll see you there. We'll catch you there in China or Japan, Hong Kong or Tokyo. Moving on with the experiences you've had. When somebody asks you to do a piece or something like that, how do you feel about that? Do you feel like you're going to say yes, or it's like they're annoying, or it's like why not? Like how do you take customers or requests? How do you take the request of your artwork?
I guess I'm mostly just a yes man. I can never say no. Well, except to my mom. She's anything. But
Okay.
yeah. But,
That's why I stay out. He got 3 people waiting now.
Yeah, but with most people, I can't really most likely say no to like a fan, except probably mom sometimes. Yeah. Yeah, and I always like try my best to make the way they want it to. Give them like a good old Keenu Hale piece of art right there.
Okay, unique go. That's what it sounds like to me. You know what I'm saying? Unique go right there on the fly. All right. We have something. We have a break coming in, so we'll be back shortly with this art interview part 2. Catch part 3.